Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the day. Yes, we are reviewing here the Vitacci GTO 250, aka 332cc. Let's go ahead and warm it up here real quick. Well, the Vitacci GTO has been a bike with a lot of potential so far that I can tell. This one has, again, a 332cc motor. This is a parallel twin motor, so yes, you get two pistons, and this is the upgraded one, which now has 6 speeds. I believe back in 2019 they came up with a version with only 5 speeds. So we have about 415 miles on it. We have a full tank. I like to add octane 93. Now this bike did come with a small issue out of the box, and there's a Facebook group that I opened so that you know, I could get some support and whatnot, and it happens to be that there's another guy that had the bike, and so his bike was fine, never had any stuttering issues. And so, you know, I started digging into it. Keep in mind that this is a brand new bike, and it's not very known here in the USA. You know, this brand, Vitacci, even John Way, is not super popular. So I went straight into the spark plugs. I replaced them for the NGKs. I believe they are the 7803 or 7308. The link has been left below. Those are iridium spark plugs. I gapped them at 0.025, and that didn't fix the issue. Then, and I'm talking about the sputtering issue. So then I went ahead and replaced the coils. Okay, so I replaced the coils, and I bought them off of Amazon. Something with similar specs, you know, not the exact same coils that were in here, but that didn't fix the issue either. So to make story short, I ended up replacing, you know, the fuel pump, the injectors, the injector connectors, the fuel filter. I replaced like I said, the fuel pump. The fuel pump came from a CF Moto bike, which is the CF Moto 150 NK, and I had to just replace the cap. You know, what you bolt onto the gas tank, that comes off on the fuel pump itself. So it's like a housing, and they're held by clips. So I was able to replace that. And yeah, so I put a new pump in it. Believe it or not, that didn't resolve the issue. And so my last thing was to check the valves. Sure enough, this thing has 4 valves. We had the intake side and the exhaust side for each piston. We know that already. So I went ahead and checked the valve. So the front, the exhaust side was at 0.04, and the intake side, and I'm talking for the left side of the motor, the left side looking at it from the back to the front. So that'll be my shifter side. So the front was which is again the exhaust at 0.004, and the intake was at 0.006. So as we know, the intake is always lower than the exhaust. So this one was totally opposite. And the specs for this bike is that you had to have the exhaust at 0.005 and the intake at 0.003. So the right side was at what it's supposed to be, but not the left side. After doing the calibration, well, guess what? No more sputtering, guys. No more sputtering. So I was just so happy to know that, I had figured out the issue. I mean, the sputtering was definitely noticeable. You could feel it. But after doing the adjustments, now the bike is running great. I'm also getting better fuel economy. It was sucking too much gas on one side. And yeah, so that was the reason for all my issues after putting so many parts into it. So my recommendation is, whenever you have a issue with a brand new bike like that comes from China, just check the little things first. Check, the valves, make sure those are okay. Check the wires, the harnesses. Remember guys, these things don't have the best quality controls on planet Earth. So yes guys, now getting here to the actual review of the bike. It has been a great bike. It is super comfortable. And as per the height, if you are 5'6" or below, then this bike is too big for you. If you are 6'4", 6'3", approximately, then it's going to feel too small. The handling, this is like an upright handling position. It's very nice and comfortable. And the good news is that this bike doesn't vibrate much. Compared to other Chinese bikes, this one here is actually quite comfortable. The speedometer, as I told you guys on the unboxing, up to, I would say, like 60 miles is about 5-6 miles off, and then anything above that, it is about 9 miles off approximately. So using my phone, I was able to clock this bike maximum at 93 miles an hour. This bike is very different to the Titan that I reviewed, and also the X Pro, the Roadster, or also known as the X24. This bike handles very different in the sense that this one is a lot faster, and now with the 6 speeds, I would say slightly faster, and it has room for you to upgrade the front sprocket. Unlike the first GTO, it didn't have room at all. So the front sprocket for this bike is a 13T. The rear sprocket is a 36T. That's 4th gear. So just keep in mind that you have to deduct the miles that I already mentioned based on this speed test. So it says we're doing 75. And I'm not maxing it out yet. We're doing about 6,000-7,000 RPMs. So yes guys, it is definitely a highway capable bike. I would say a little bit safer than the first two that I tried already. If I tuck in like this, I'm cutting wind right now, so things are going to get a little bit faster, as you guys can observe right here. We have a lot of debris here on the road. I hate that. So right now it says I'm doing 84 on the speedometer. Again, not maxed out. We're doing about 70, maybe 7,200 RPMs right now as we speak. And as you guys can tell also, I am approaching cars right now. There we go, 86, 87. And this is a pretty fast highway, especially in the morning times. So yeah guys, like I said, it does a solid 95, maxing it out, but it is too early guys for me to try it out. There's too much traffic. I don't want to risk it, The maintenance is quite easy to do on these bikes. Not much that goes on, just check your chain. I did upgrade the chain right off the bat because the other ones, they were just too cheap. They will stretch, and I've seen a lot of people with chain issues. And that's for every Chinese bike out there, Just don't trust those chains, guys. Get a nice O-ring, X-ring. You know, I had the gold one on here. I think I paid like, I don't know, like $79 or something on Amazon. I mean, they're not even that expensive. And I probably got a knockoff one, who knows? But you know, anything out there will be much better than what comes from the factory, guys. It is slightly thinner too, and they don't have any sorts of you know, protection or anything that preserves you know, grease, like the X rings and the O rings. They keep grease on the chain for a little longer. So yes, just make sure you get, you know, good quality parts. Make sure you replace those spark plugs. Make sure you check your valves if it's sputtering or if it's giving you any indication that something's just not right. Just check all those little things, guys, and it does make a difference. As I said before, these machines, they don't have the best quality control, but you can definitely make them better. Also, something that is a big plus for these bikes versus the Titan, well, the Titan came with an oil cooler, but not the X Pro, is that this one is water cooled. So yes, you get a radiator, you get a fan, just like a real bike. You know, just like anything typical out there when it comes to Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki. You know, with this one, you get that as well, guys, which is really cool. I did add a little bit more coolant into it just because of the fact that the reservoir came a little low, but the radiator on the inside, the actual radiator, did have sufficient. It was actually full, so just make sure you top it off a little bit. You can also replace it, but I don't see it necessary, guys. To me, coolant is just coolant, and it's gonna do just that. You know, you don't have to go crazy on it. Something else that I did is that same guy that I mentioned earlier that has the same bike as me, he did have just one slight issue with the bike. And well, it was slight issue, but it was a safety issue. So what he had is that his bearings on the rear side, according to him, they exploded. And I don't know how it happened. He said that one side was not sealed and debris got inside, and like about after 400 miles his bearing exploded off the rim, and he showed me pictures and everything to support it. So, you know, I know he wasn't lying. And he said, get the Temkin branded bearings. They work so much better. They are, you know, quality bearings, and I knew this from the past with other bikes, but I didn't know, you know, that so soon you know, these have to be replaced. So yes, I went ahead and replaced the rear bearings as well. Now, as per the exhaust for this bike, it's hard to find something that fits. It is like a unique fitment, and so I've been trying to, you know, do something for that, but I think I'm gonna have to take it somewhere to where they can weld an adapter, and I can just hook up a regular you know, slip-on, like a 51mm slip-on, something that is standard, because with these bikes almost nothing is standard when it comes to, you know, the exhaust. The whole thing is just custom, and yes, we can make it sound a little bit more aggressive. You know, when you are on the bike itself, it sounds like a lawnmower. You know, it sounds like you're riding literally a lawnmower. But here's the tricky part. When you get off the bike and you accelerate it, it does sound good. So I'm assuming what people are hearing around you, it's okay, but what you hear is not so okay. It's like really low, and, you know, again, I prefer to have something a little bit better, guys. Well, guys, as of right now, I'm about to head to work. I'm getting there very shortly, so I'm gonna cut off the video, and then I'll catch you guys on in a few seconds for you, and a whole day for me.
A few moments later.
Alright, guys, so getting off work here today. It was a nice smooth day, and I love it. 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 And when I know that I brought the bike. But what I don't like is that around this time, which is about 6 o'clock, traffic is super slow, especially people coming back from work. Nobody has a rush now. This bike definitely needs a bigger sprocket, guys. I'm telling you, it needs a bigger sprocket on the front side where the tranny is. It has a 13. I would say that even a 14 will make it so happy. But a 15 will make it even better. A 15 max, I think that's all you can fit on there. Yup. Tienes que comprarte una. That's a buddy from work. But yeah, that's a buddy from work, and I was just telling him, hey, you gotta get one too. But you know, that guy's story is super sad. I mean, I shouldn't even be joking like that, because he was involved in an accident, but he was the car driver, and he hit a motorcycle, and the guy got killed. So he got really traumatized about that. I mean, you could see it. He didn't go to work, even though he wasn't injured. He didn't go to work for like, I don't know, like 2-3 months. That must be terrible, you know. And the worst part about it, guys, is that it happened at the entrance of his community. So every day that he goes to his house, he has to see, you know, those little markings that they put when somebody dies at a certain location on the side of the road. At least in Florida, they do that. I'm not sure about other states, but here in Florida, that's allowed. And yeah, so every day when he goes to his house, he gets to see that. That's crazy. I would have sold that house a long time ago. And if you haven't noticed, I put my phone GPS pedometer on there. I tucked in a little bit just to get faster, but I'm not killing it right now, guys. I just did, let me see, 78. And I had to lower my speed because, like I said, at this time there's a lot of traffic. So I probably can't give you the max today. Just take my word for it. My max, it was going at about 8,500 RPMs about, and I was doing 93, 95 miles an hour. So that was pretty cool. It doesn't have a windshield, and that sucks because you can feel the wind, you know, hitting you hard on the chest. You can feel it, you know, pushing you back. So sometimes instead of just holding the handlebar nice and easy, you kind of like get a harder grip on it, thinking that you're gonna fly away. So I'm doing right here, as you guys can tell, a solid 7,200 RPMs, just about. And this is just cruising speed, 72. Again, not killing it. Having idiots like this one here, trying to make a left turn, not looking at his blind spot. People don't let me, guys. They just don't let me. At least we tried to go a little bit faster. You see? Like that guy right there. Just cut me right in front. Drivers, drivers, drivers. That is it, guys, for today's review of the Vitacci GTO 250, aka 332 cc's. Again, I like emblems. You guys have seen it throughout my videos with motorized bikes and whatnot. I like to put emblems on bikes, and this one came absolutely plain. So that's the chain. The rear bearings were upgraded as well, as I told you, with the Timkins. We got these tires in which they are surprisingly good, and the same for the front. And right here we added the CNC handlebar mirrors as well with the front LED headlight, and it looks pretty cool. Here we have the cooling system, the radiator with the fan, and the reservoir is actually on this side of the fairing right there. You guys can see that white bottle. It has a electric fan, just like a real big bike. Pretty cool. This is the exhaust that I want to upgrade. But if I don't sell it sooner, I'll do it. If I do sell it, well, it'll be until the next bike. With this being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more. Comment below, let me know what you think about this particular model. Click on the bell icon, and I'll see you on my next one.